Whoa. Are we doing a show? Are you better or worse? Is Tom Grossi better or worse after the draft and free agency? Did he improve?
Oh, I peaked in life. It's all downhill from here.
You're worse. You're getting worse by the minute. You're like expiring milk.
Did the music cut off?
Well, I don't know. I wasn't paying attention.
Oh, it seems like it cut off on my end. That was weird.
Huh.
Oh, baby. We here.
We steer
you in the right direction. Welcome to another edition of the Grossi Perna Show. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna, and this is G P.
Oh, we've made it through the wild week that is the NFL draft.
We kind of survived.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like I'm a changed person on the inside.
Yeah. I've grown as a man in several ways.
How so?
I'm an inch taller.
Wow.
Yes.
A full inch.
Congratulations to me. My emotional intelligence off the charts.
That's good. You needed to improve on that. I didn't want to tell you, but I'm glad you found your way there by yourself.
I've got all of the emotional intelligence.
It's huge.
It's huge emotional intelligence, Tom.
Okay. All right. So you grew both physically and emotionally.
Yes.
That's great.
How about you? We never really talked about like what your draft experience was down in the
I just figured you didn't care.
Green Bay. No, I cared. We just had like so much to like try and get through. What was like your biggest takeaway from being there, being in the mix, rubbing elbows with the fancy folks?
So, all right. So can I tell you? All right, there's gonna be Q&A tonight, which is probably gonna go for like 5 hours.
Yeah, I'm sure you're about to reshare all of this.
We're gonna redo this. Okay, so I'll give you one. So there was a point where, all right, let me back up a lot. So yes. I was going to this draft regardless, right? Like this was going to happen. I couldn't make it to the combine this year because we did the $1 million stream, and so which is the NFL YouTube thing. They sent me to the combine last year. So I straight up told them, I was like, hey, like I'm going to the draft. If you could get some cool opportunities, cool. If not, also cool. Like whatever. Sure. I'm going to be there regardless. So that's how I got to like talk to like Ashton Genty and Travis Hunter and stuff like that. Like that was set up by them, which was cool. And the other thing that was set up by them is they invited me to this draft eve party. And I was like, okay,
that sounds sexy.
I found out the day of that this was a thing that was happening. It was the night before the draft, hence the draft eve party. So it was held in the atrium of Lambeau Field, right?
Where they keep the birds?
Nope, they don't keep birds there.
They made you hang with the birds?
No, atrium's beautiful. I highly recommend you go. But anyway, they basically turned I didn't know what to expect. So here's the thing. I had credentials because of this program, right? That allowed me to kind of like walk around in places and get into the draft experience and what have you. So I just figured, okay, I'll wing it. I'll figure out how to get in there. I've been into Lambeau Field a cajillion times. I got so freaking lost, man. Like I could not find a way into the building because everything was locked down because their security was insane, right? So I'm just wandering around. I'm like, I don't know how to get there. I finally run into one of the employees and they're like, oh, like we escort you over. I was like, oh, okay. So like with a group, they escort us over into the atrium.
Do they have guns?
No, they didn't have guns. The music that came out of those speakers, I don't think it's ever come out of the speakers in Lambeau Field. It was the most hip and cool. I felt like the oldest person in the world. It was very like nightclubby vibes. And I was like, okay. So they turned the atrium into a nightclub. And it was basically for like all the NFL like big wigs and execs. And so I was immediately uncomfortable. I was like, this is not my crowd. These are not the place. So they were giving away like party favors, and they were like real NFL like draft footballs. So like they had so what they had was like you could get your name like spray painted on it. And me being me, I was like, I just want a football. So I waited on this long ass line to be like, can I just have a blank football? And they all looked at me really weird, but I stole a blank football. So the point that I'm making is, instead of standing there awkwardly, not knowing how to mingle with any of these people who made a lot more money than I did, I said, wait a minute, if this is open, the NFL, like the Packers Hall of Fame, is probably open. And it was, and there was nobody in it. So for like an hour and a half, I just walked around.
Yeah, because the Packers have never had any players worthy of the Hall of Fame.
I'm gonna kick you right in the shin, right in the shin. But like, they were all focused on the party, so I got to like walk basically alone through the Hall of Fame.
Cool.
And it was amazing. So that was really, really cool. But then, like, besides the week, man, like, it was awesome. I mean, just the city coming together and like making this draft happen and making it like just the locals it was so freaking cool, man. Like, it was the most amount of Packers fans I've ever seen in one space. And I was so happy to be there for, who knows, like, it probably is going to be like a once in a lifetime event, you know, as they're moving the draft around all over the place. So to like be there as a Packers fan in Green Bay, I mean, man, like, yeah, it was like one of the greatest experiences I've ever had. And then not even talking about the draft pick.
That's pretty cool. Was Johnny Dogs with you in the Hall of Fame?
Johnny Barks, no. Johnny Barks was nabbed. We went out later. But Johnny Barks, he was there. He actually got to be, because I was streaming, you know, night 1 and night 2 of the draft from downtown Green Bay. So it was like 10 minutes away from Lambeau. But Johnny got to go in the draft theater and like witness Matthew Golden being drafted. So
nice.
That's pretty dope.
Stay gold.
Pretty dope.
Johnny Dogs.
Thoughts on the latest Monday Night Raw? I don't remember what happened, to be honest with you. Oh, Sammy getting like beat up and stuff. Okay, yeah, that's cool. I like Ron Breaker, so I'm okay. Is that what you're referring to? I don't know. I have not been able to focus a lot on things outside of this. I don't think Sam Darnold's going to get Mifflined. It's a great question. I love that his name is turned into a verb, but I don't think so. Milroe is a raw talent, dude. He's obviously got some insane speed, athletic abilities off the chart. I think he needs to be refined a little bit, and to be able to sit behind Sam Darnold, I think, is the right move. Perna and I talked about this a little bit the other day. I wouldn't be surprised if they use him, like, you know, in certain packages of like, hey, like, go out there and run the ball, or at least, you know, tease a QB run. So
yeah. Get him on the field for some plays. I mean, they did that with Lamar Jackson, his first year in Baltimore. If you remember, when Flacco was the starter, they got Lamar out there from time to time.
Flacco and Lamar have such similar skill sets.
I know.
Basically,
when I close my eyes and I think of an NFL quarterback, I can't tell the difference between Joe Flacco or Lamar Jackson.
Basically the same person.
Same guy.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold, Jalen Milroe, same guy.
Same guy.
So, you know, get him out there.
Yeah.
No, Darnold's going to start all year. It feels like the Seahawks at their quarterback position made a very lateral move. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah, that's fair. How do you feel the Packers and Broncos will not be getting a rival jersey, but the Jets will be getting a special jersey?
I don't even know what the fuck that means.
I heard that they were doing some rival thing, and that is the extent of what I know. Yeah, I heard like, oh, they're getting some fancy jerseys. I don't care. You know what jersey I want? The one that says this has a Super Bowl patch on it because we're in the Super Bowl. That's the only jersey I care about.
We got our throwbacks. That's all that matters. We got the perfect jersey. I don't need to see another one.
They are
ever again.
Do they look good? Like I just have they released them? I just have not seen them.
I don't know. So. I don't know. I do have a new favorite sports journalist, Tom. Been doing my research, been doing my work, and the greatest sports journalist on earth hails from North Carolina.
Next guest, Luke DeCock.
Excuse me, who?
Luke DeCock.
Who?
Luke DeCock.
Wait, one more time.
Luke DeCock.
Luke DeCock. You have got a new fan. I will be paying extra close attention to Tar Heel football this season. Hold on. We didn't even get the full. You didn't even get the full.
Next guest, Luke DeCock.
Excuse me. Who?
Luke DeCock.
Who?
Luke DeCock.
Wait, one more time.
Luke DeCock.
It's straight up DeCock. DeCock. I have never respected a man so much in my life.
First of all, there has never been a GPS clip that is more GPS clip than that clip right there. 1. 2, I did not anticipate that you were randomly going to play that clip. 3, that person is God's strongest soldier. Because I have to admit that high school was not kind. High school, there's no way that high school would have been kind. So
or he was cool. You don't know. It's one of two spectrums.
Yeah.
Either everybody embraced the DeCock or they shunned the DeCock. We will never know.
They're all seeing it now.
Considering he's a journalist, probably you're right. Probably high school.
Could have been tough.
Middle school is probably worse. I think by high school you're like, oh yeah, DeCock's cool.
When you stream more of Coach?
Oh yeah, I gotta get back into that.
Yeah, you did season 3, right?
Yeah, I streamed all of season 3 for everybody.
Season 4 is best
on the
season.
GPS Clips channel. Don't forget to subscribe there for your GPS clips.
Sure.
What do I need to watch? I need to watch the next saga first, and then season 4 of Coach, right? Which is the next saga?
South Saga.
South.
Yes.
Cool.
You might like the South. There's a lot more humor in it.
Oh, thank God.
It's not as dark and depressing. It's fine.
Yeah, I'll get back on it. I enjoyed it.
I don't know if I feel a lot better about Sam Darnold after they got Zabel because they needed their interior offensive line to be boosted a little bit. So I don't know if they're going to be like 100% great, but I think they're going to be significantly better than what the outlook was before the draft. So I don't think it's going to be awful. I'm curious of just what that offense is going to look like as a whole for Seattle. But I think that they're also in this, they're going to be competitive. Maybe they get a wild card spot is kind of where I see them. But yeah, we got to just have to see what that offense is going to look like when they take the field.
Yeah, I mean, I think like everybody loves the Gray Zabel pick for their line.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just a question of like, are their tackles going to be all right? We've seen both good and bad from their tackles. We'll see how Sammy does. Every team's got one thing like, man, I wish we would have done more in that area. But I think we saw Sam Darnold struggle with the pressure late last season. That is true. But I think he can mitigate some of that. And I think if the Seahawks run game is just better and more consistent, it'll really help a lot of that too. So
just stay healthy and be able to run the ball.
Yeah.
It's a good question, AAA. Biggest nowhere to nightmare? The guy who really came to my head off the top of my head was Richard Sherman. Because he was a 5th round guy, right? And dude, like, if you remember with Crabtree and stuff, like that was a rivalry. Like, holy crap. The 49ers Seahawks games, they were must watch television at that point. Yeah. Legion of Boom. So I feel like, his name could be up there.
Yeah, Jokic getting drafted during the Taco Bell commercial is a thing of, lore here in Denver.
It's pretty great.
But like Jokic was like, if you were watching when he played as a rookie, you're like, oh shit, that guy's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And it just became like a matter of time before they leaned on him.
Thank you, K-Chan.
Let's see, who's my out of nowhere player though? That's a good question.
John Elway.
Shuck on you, Perna. Shuck on you.
Shuck you, I think is what he's saying.
Shuck you.
Shuck you. Yes.
You want to shuck on me?
Mm-hmm.
Out of nowhere player.
I hear you.
Out of nowhere player.
I
mean, Clinton Portis kind of came out of nowhere. He was just so insane. What round was he?
Oh, drafted? Is it West? Oh, you didn't watch the West one yet?
What's after? I'm at the next saga.
Oh, I got my own order wrong. You got to watch the West. The West is great. You're in the West. You're literally in it. You're a recurring character in the West saga.
I'll believe it when I see it.
You filmed multiple things. You remember Breck? Like, you just went out.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Send me random things of you on the phone. You're like, Brecky.
Yeah.
I forgot you didn't watch the West. I thought you were past that already.
Probably Terrell Davis. That's a good one. Sixth round. Made a name for himself in the playoff or the preseason game.
Sir.
Anyway.
Perna just asked me this question. This was the number one question I was asked when I was in Wisconsin.
When are you moving here, bro?
I'm hoping by the end of June I'm in the house. I need to get through next week with draft content, and then I need to do coach. And then I can move halfway across the country. Then I can do it.
Sweet.
Hey, Matt Flynn for the win. Got that contract from the Lions. Threw 6 touchdowns on him. And the Seahawks are like, here's all that money. Boom. Boom. Thank you, Lions. Thank you. No, he did not. I thought he watched the West Saga already. I was wrong. You have long hair, full beard in that one.
Yeah, that was in 2021 then, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I'm getting a haircut very soon.
I was about to say, you gonna get the haircut this weekend? Is that on the docket?
Monday.
All right, so we're gonna do GPS so I can see you one more time with long hair and then gone.
Yep. Steve Smith, Tom, getting sued.
Steve Smith is getting sued?
Yes.
What'd he do?
Oh boy, you're gonna like this.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I'm out of the loop on this one.
Share screen. There we go.
It'd be funny against the Cowboys just to laugh that.
Okay, get out of here, Florio. Steve Smith, Sr., sued under homewrecker law.
What?
Now, if you remember...
Hold on, real quick, before you even get into there, can we look at that top line? No, scroll down. The list of lawsuits recently filed against former NFL players continues to grow. Like, they're trying to establish a pattern and being like, oh, all these former NFL players, like, you're getting sued all over the place. Okay, I like how they're already starting with this massive generalization. Continue.
Yes. So North Carolina has a homewrecker law, which is crazy. Smith accused of having an extended affair with a member of the Baltimore Ravens marching band. One time at band camp, Steve Smith.
Oh no! I know members of the Baltimore Ravens marching band.
Okay, so this he's being sued by Antonio Martinez, seeking $100,000 for Smith's alleged interference in Martinez's marriage. So there was like these text messages were posted back in, I think, February.
You've been effing my wife.
You've been effing my wife, bro. And Smith, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, dude. I didn't know. I mean, I kind of knew, but I'm sorry. So yeah, he's getting sued for having an affair with Mr. Martinez's wife.
Oh my. Okay. Wow. The epidemic of former NFL players getting sued. It continues. You're effing my wife, bro. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Sorry. I said I'm sorry. What else
hey,
do
man,
I'm sorry?
That's my wife. My wife.
God.
That's might be my favorite lawsuit ever.
Sorry.
I'm going to when I get really down bad for ideas, I'm just going to do power ranking the top 10 NFL lawsuits.
Favre has to be up there.
Yeah.
And then you go, which one?
Yeah. Will texted Barks and I last night. It was just this clip of when Brett Favre was on the field and a fan ran out onto the field and Brett just gives him the football as he's like approaching Brett Favre, and then the fan like runs off the field with the football. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Totally forgot about that, or maybe I never saw it, but I was like, oh God, the fan was right. The fan was right to take that ball from Favre.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Also, can we...
Yes?
For the fact that law exists.
Homewrecker law.
Calculus knows now. But can you imagine texting an NFL player and being like, dude, you're boning my wife.
Yeah. And then like a couple months later, suing them.
Years down the road, when everyone is hopefully healed from this, right? Years down the road, there's going to be a time where that man is playing two truths and a lie. And it says, I one time had to text Steve Smith.
Yeah.
Say, hey, you're banging my wife. And he said, I'm sorry. And everyone's going to think that's the lie.
Yeah.
He's going to win that game.
I think if you apologize like Steve Smith did, you can't be sued. If you're sorry about it, like no lawsuit. No lawsuit.
It's good to know. When you get an orange 2X shirts in.
Oh, Ryan? I don't know. We'll restock. What shirt specifically? Orange. That's just vague.
I don't even know.
AB's in legal trouble again?
That's I just.
Well, this is a great segue. This is not legal trouble. But Antonio Brown posted a screenshot of a conversation between and Tom Brady. And my thought here is Antonio should have listened. So Brady was trying to remind Antonio Brown via text message to not skip his appointment with the psychologist. So, if you recall, right, Tom Brady housed Antonio Brown down in Tampa Bay when nobody wanted to touch Antonio Brown with a 10-foot fucking pole because he was a head case. He was a head case.
There was things going on.
There was a lot of things going on. Including lawsuits. Sexual assault lawsuits.
A lot going on.
Not paying people lawsuits.
A lot going on.
Brady took him in anyway, because Tom Brady will do anything to win. He will do anything to win. He is that insecure in his ability to play quarterback in the NFL that he needs every weapon around him.
That's what you get from that.
Physical. You've mastered it. It's easy for you to work hard. You got the physical prep down. That's true. Antonio Brown, always one of the hardest working guys out there.
Yep.
Mental. You are very smart and you know the game. I think he knew the game. I would never use the words "you are very smart" and Antonio Brown in the same sentence. Emotional. We all need to work on this. We are emotional beings. You need to work equally as hard here. And now Antonio Brown is throwing him under the bus for no apparent reason. The one person who wanted to help him, Antonio Brown's taking a giant shit on that man for no reason. None. If I got to side with Tom Brady, AB, you fucked up.
That's also true. That is very, very true. I have not seen that French. No, but he threw Tom Brady under the bus years ago.
Like right after he left. Right after he left, he started throwing but how petty and sad do you have to be doing this now?
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude.
It's not great. It's not ideal. It's not ideal. UNICEF, I feel like we may have raised money for them in the past. I'd have to go back and check.
UNICEF.
I have a list of future charities to work on. I mean, they're a great one and they're a pretty big one. Moses West Foundation. That one I don't know. I'll put that on the list though. I'll take a look at that. Appreciate you, Casual. Thank you.
I side with Brady. That's what you've done to me, Antonio. You sick bastard.
It's still at one. We also wanted to talk about the. Did you want to jump into other stories first? Or did you want to jump into?
What was that? Is that it? What other stories?
Improved teams.
Oh yeah. Well, we got the big one.
Oh, now you go. There you go. Now we're cooking.
All
right, folks, get your bets in now. How many more tiers will be created on this episode of GPS? Brandon always says none. It's usually 5.
None, guys.
Early predictions for Broncos, Packers primetime on Thursday night. All their games, or just that? Dude, is it guaranteed that the Packers Broncos are Thursday?
Dude, Thursday night Broncos Packers would be tight.
That would be amazing.
Do we? But wait, do we play each other?
Yeah, I think we do.
Are you serious?
I think I play like every single member of Clickbait.
Wow.
Me as if I'm on the team. You
That'll
know, I
be
do not
fun.
Pick, so I don't know.
I hope that happens.
Yeah. Oh, the texts were very I have not seen them. I'm sorry, but he said I'm sorry, right? Steve
I'm sorry that I did the nasty.
I'm sorry.
With your wife.
I'm sorry. I said what else do you want from me? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry that I broke up your marriage.
Sorry. Oh.
Sorry.
Okay, so a couple parameters here.
What do you got?
All right. First of all, no shenanigans. That's my number one rule, Tom.
That's broken
Number two, I think every team improved via the draft. Okay, so we got to have a baseline. Every team gets better in the offseason, theoretically. This is not so much just it's draft, it's free agency.
I don't know if the 49ers got better in the offseason. I'm gonna go on the hard line there and say I don't know if they got better.
I think they had a nice draft for their defensive front.
Sure.
I think they got better at defensive coordinator by bringing in old Bobby Saleh. So
DC, I agree with. Yeah,
we'll see. My most improved team, and here's the thing: that team could still suck this year. That's why this is going to get a little tricky. I honestly think the most improved team is the Patriots, and I still don't know if they're going to be very good. Tom,
that's fair.
I think Mike Vrabel is a very good head coach. Right away, you get in Vrabel, better. They did a lot in free agency. Yep. A lot of people loved their draft. Again, I think they might be third place in that division, maybe second place, but improvement based on where they were last year, I like the Patriots. There, I said it.
I'm going to say something that's going to make you upset.
Oh, fudge.
I think in terms of just the pieces that they've added,
the Raiders
have to be like they have to be up there.
That's probably my number two too.
I mean, the Raiders in terms of just if Ashton Genty is even half of what is projected of him, that run game is going to be significantly better. They get a massive upgrade head coach. They get a massive upgrade at quarterback. Like, and again, I don't know if they're going to finish second in the division, but like they might finish third as well. But like, I do think that they've taken some pretty substantial leaps here, especially on the offensive side of the ball. I think that they're going to be better.
Head coach, better. Quarterback, dude, Geno Smith can be like the 17th best quarterback in the NFL next year. Just 17th best.
And they'll be better.
And he is so much better than the quarterback play they had last year. Mm-hmm. And it pains me to say that, knowing Gardner Minshew was half of that equation. But their quarterback situation sucked. It brought down their entire team. Geno Smith was a huge hit for the Raiders.
Yeah.
Genty, look, Will and I, we had a meeting yesterday as we were like kind of talking about some of the videos we want to work on. And just like Will was just bitching about Ashton Genty, just, genuinely to me. He's like, man, the more I've been watching like Ashton Genty, that more angry I get that he's a Raider. So yeah, we're a little concerned about that. And like the Patriots, like you said, like they will compete to not be in last place in the division. And we haven't been able to say that about the Raiders for a while.
Yeah. Only two good teams in Denver at the time.
Avs and Broncos, thoughts? No, I think the Nuggets, dude, the Rockies are going to be so bad that three good teams will be in Denver this season. Bo Nix and the Broncos, dude, he's out. He's going to Nuggets games. He was at the Avalanche game with the crew yesterday. McGlinchey was out there with him. Gotta love Bo Nix, keeping the morale high among his teammates.
Can we get so why is it just a little better? How come it can't be like much better?
Well, you got most improved. That's it. So most improved, got a little better, same, little worse, least improved.
Okay. All right.
I mean, how can you say you got a lot better, but you're not a most improved?
Because there's still questions. Well, all right. So the Arizona Cardinals,
there you go, all chiefed up.
Hey, if Simmons is their guy, if Simmons gets healthy, I'm just saying for the Chiefs. But the Arizona Cardinals, for me, they definitely got better. I really like what they're doing on defense. Not only do they got
a little better
and get sweat during free agency, I really like what they did in their draft. They got to hope that Marvin Harrison Jr., I know that he's been working out and apparently has put on some muscle. But yeah, they obviously need him to be better. But I feel like what the Cardinals are doing on the defensive side of the ball, I'm a huge, huge fan of.
Yeah,
because they need a pass rusher. They need to go make their secondary better, and they're doing it.
Here's what the Cardinals need. They need a quarterback, though, Tom.
I think they can win with Kyler Murray.
Is Kyler Murray good? Nobody fucking knows anymore.
Like their definitive guy there. I think there's some question marks that have been popping up over these past couple of years.
Kyler Murray, I don't think he's the guy.
Yep. Oh, yeah, Wayne, that's pretty much how it goes.
I want Kyler Murray to be great.
Sure.
I need my short king to be one of the best QBs out there. Unfortunately, every year he disappoints.
Mm-hmm.
Now, maybe this year it clicks again. His knee feels good. We'll give him the grace period of the year after the surgery. Things slow down a little bit. But, dude, he's never thrown for 30 touchdowns. 21 touchdowns, 11 picks last year. I want him to be running for he needs to be like 1,000-yard rusher every season.
I get it.
In my opinion.
I get it.
And I read something, and I don't know if this is true or not, because I can't remember where I read it or where I heard it. And it was a few weeks ago. But the thing I heard is Kyler doesn't want to run as a quarterback that much.
Oh my God.
They said some weeks he just I'm not going to run that much this week. I think you can't just predetermine that. If that's true, if that thing is that I heard is true, he's got to do what it takes to win the game. And I don't know if we've seen that from Kyler as the guy who's going to do everything to win his team the football game. So
it's again, I love how you're I don't know where I read it. It was weeks ago.
Dude,
I'm tired. I don't know if I even did read it. But
I can't remember.
I don't disagree with you. I feel like Cardinals fans have been that, because when he came back from injury, they're okay, right, this is supposed to make our team substantially better. Had him last year, and I feel like it's just there's a ceiling with Kyler, right?
Yeah. And I mean, the ceiling is so far above his actual head, Tom.
I was waiting for it. So, yep. And I think that at this point, you can win with Kyler Murray. Obviously, they gave him a big-time contract. It's like I said, I just don't know if he's the franchise guy, because you just need to see more from him. And I'm curious what the season's going to look like, because I feel like that's going to be the one that's really going to determine if he's that guy.
I think this is a make or break year for Kyler Murray. That's my hot take. But yeah, they got a little better, hopefully, on defense. Is what they needed.
Okay. How's the mic now? Is it okay? There's an echo. Is that better now?
You sounded great to me.
Everyone said I looked like a giant, or I was speaking into a tunnel.
Whoa.
Packers primetime games, potentially Eagles are up there. I'm assuming one at least of the divisions. Cowboys could be up there. I love the Steelers were up there too. That'd be a fun game. Especially if Aaron Rodgers is playing, then it's going to be Steelers. Yeah. So,
New Orleans Saints are stayed exactly the same team. Now, they got a new head coach. If Kellen Moore is, the dude, if it's the right coach, then they will be better. But they brought back a bunch of guys that we thought were going to leave, finally, be free from New Orleans, help them in their salary cap situation. Now, Derek Carr may or may not play. You got Tyler Shuck. Nobody knows if he's good or not. They are very much exactly the same. And I don't know if that's very good.
That's fair. I mean, yeah. You just got to hope that O-line is finally good. I don't believe in the QB position right now there. So, yeah, I go same or a little. I mean, again, they got Reed, right? That's something. They got Reed. So, Dustin says they got a little bit better. A little bit better. I hear my echo. I hear my echo through you.
Oh, weird. Huh.
Sorry about that, buddy. Apologies. Yeah, I think same or a little worse is where I'd put the Saints. It's just
a little worse.
Saints.
That's offensive to Tyler Shuck.
I'm okay with same.
Same. So,
No French. All right, here I have a question for you. The New York Jets.
Yes.
Where do you put them?
The Jets?
Right? I was thinking about it as we were doing this, and I was like, huh.
They're the same.
You think so?
Yeah, I think
they're already at the bottom, so.
Yeah, they were moving on from Rodgers, 100% the right decision. Needed to do it. But moving on from Rodgers to Justin Fields, I think that is probably a downgrade. No offense to Mr. Fields. I hope he's good.
Future play.
But he has not been. He was okay. He was so okay with the Steelers. Just didn't make mistakes. They played this really conservative football with him in there. All right. Building in the trenches. Draft, I think, solid. But yeah, they are the same, and they are not going to be good, in my opinion. So we'll see what happens.
I saw that it got delayed. Yeah, GTA 6. It's all right. It'll be out when I'm 35 years old. The Jets, I feel.
Wait, hold on. This is perfect.
Yeah.
A little worse, but long-term better. I think you're spot on.
I think that's fair.
I think that's very fair.
Do we want to make a tier for it?
A long-term play?
Little worse, but long-term good. Better.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
1. We got it. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a new tier.
Long-term play. Oh, I'm just saying long-term.
I'm not hearing an echo on my end.
Yeah, I don't hear an echo either.
I don't hear one. Sorry, folks, if there's an echo. Apologies. I just messed with my microphone.
Shook my butt out.
I hear I hear it through your speakers every now and then.
Weird. Here, let me turn down. Does that help at all?
Hello.
Does that help?
I hear it a little bit, but I'm also a loud person. Echo's gone now for me. Okay.
All right.
Hello?
So
Hello?
long-term. Jets did a long-term play.
Echo. We're very professional here. Very professional. All right. Long-term what? What is that? It doesn't say anything. It just says long in all caps.
It's a long-term play. A little worse, but a long-term play.
Okay.
All right. We'll put it under little worse just to avoid confusion.
It has.
All right. So who maybe got a little worse, but also it feels like they're doing long-term the right moves.
Oh my! Am I crazy by saying the Cleveland Browns? They're trying to dig themselves. They got another first-round pick for next year.
Yeah, I would borderline put them on least improved, honestly. But yeah, okay, little worse, long-term, hopefully.
Right, because they have to listen. They have dug themselves into quite the hole. The Deshaun Watson thing, to the shock of everyone, did not work out. And now they need to dig up a little bit. And so I feel like at least getting some draft capital, I like what they did. Going another running back, getting Graham on the defensive line. I like what they're doing. But yeah, I think long term, they're trying to get better. They drafted 2 QBs to try and solve that issue. They're like, maybe one of these are going to work. So, I feel like they're trying. They're trying. I have not seen his video on Sanders. I saw that he put one out, though. I'm excited to watch it. FD would be great. I don't mind. I'd love to have him on. He's an awesome creator.
FD? Who's FD?
FD Signifier.
Oh.
Just hit 1 million subs. He's a great creator.
Was he a sports guy?
No, he's not. He's a huge Bears fan, but no, he doesn't do. Usually, he doesn't do sports content. He wants to do sports content, but that's not the kind of content he puts out.
Stay the fuck out, man. We don't need any more.
I
fear competition.
Are you putting? Oh, wait. Are we doing another tier? Address weakness. Okay.
Falcons feel like we know what we got to fix in the draft. We're trying to do it. But
I was crazy for much better.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
What'd you think of Lenny? I don't think he's seen. You're talking about the West Saga. He has not seen it yet. He has not. Here we go. Now more? Okay, we're good now.
No, I just changed the color.
Okay. Address weaknesses feels like a little better. That's, this is splitting hairs here.
Addressed weakness. So probably the same, maybe a little better, depends.
Dude, I saw that video of Nick Chubb working out. Man, I hope he's able to stay healthy and go ball out for at least another season. I just love Nick Chubb, man. He's just a great player. It's fun watching him play. I feel so bad about his injuries.
If all he has to do is jump over people, he is so ready for a comeback.
That's it.
He is so those jumps were so high.
Mm-hmm.
So high.
Hey, where would you know what I would do? The Dallas Cowboys.
A little better?
Same or address weaknesses, because they did. They went and they addressed the trenches. They still need another wide receiver that I think they can really rely on, but
yeah, it's like they had a very underwhelming free agency period, but everybody is like, oh, their draft was so good. It was the best.
I like
Don't know.
I do. I don't feel super confident about their wide receiver core. Obviously, CeeDee Lamb is going to be really good, and they put a whole bunch of money into about to be 3 players. But I think shoring up the Ezraku, I really like that pick.
Yeah. I'm going to put him in a little better because let's assume Dak Prescott's going to be healthy and play for him. Healthy Dak?
Do address.
They'll be all right.
I will say, in May 2nd, I don't think they're going to win the division, but maybe competitive.
Okay.
His name is Jesus Daniels.
Haven't seen it.
Oh. I don't know. Yeah, I put them, address weaknesses are same, but you could do a little better.
They're a little better.
I think who's like that guy. I'm excited for that. Okay. All right. What about the Giants? They did address some weaknesses. They did address some weaknesses. That defense should be good, right? They even in free agency, they're trying to rebuild that secondary after losing McKinney. Address some weaknesses.
I think the Giants are a little better, yeah.
You think a little better? Okay, a little better.
I think Giants are a little better. I think Russell Wilson will be... What is this? Oh. You can't expect me to remember my own videos. That's the last thing you guys should expect from me, is to remember what I said. Once a video is uploaded, it is completely erased from my mind.
10
Jesus Daniels. Fuck.
10 out of 10.
Yeah.
I get that though. Once the video's premiered, once the video's released, like Sakai, it's gone from my mind.
It's gone. It's just because I am so forward thinking. Like I can't be expected to retain information.
Oh man, look at this humble brag. Oh, I just think so many steps ahead in the future. I can't be bothered.
That's not a brag. I don't live in the past, man. My brain is, what do I need to do next?
That explains Perna's power rankings. You know what? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Verbatim.
What happened last week? Completely irrelevant.
I agree. There should be a much better tier. Thank you. My much better tier truthers out there. I think there should be a much better tier. Just gonna say, there's
much
a little better.
You guys want a much better tier?
Little better and address weaknesses. Like we're really starting to split some hairs there.
Oh my god.
Maybe
fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Just give me a little much better.
It's gonna be there.
So is that 3 now? Is that 3? Perfect. One more tier.
Mucho.
One more tier. The people want it.
Better.
Crazy take, Jaguars could be the worst team in the league.
No, I don't think that.
I don't think they'll be the worst.
That's a crazy take.
But their defense has to be better. Their defense has to be better, and you got to pray that... What is that? They got to pray that Trevor Lawrence is healthy and good.
That's the tier maker problem.
I think folks were talking about before, right? This was on Wednesday's show. I think someone was asked of who's going to be the worst team in the league. I think the Saints are up there. I think depending on what the hell happens with their QB situation. Dude, what if all their QBs suck?
Yeah, I mean, if Derek Carr doesn't play, like if Derek Carr's out there, they won't be the worst team, but
they ain't gonna be great. Least improve, you put the Steelers.
Yeah, Steelers. They haven't done shit, and we're assuming Aaron Rodgers is going there.
Love their first round pick.
What the fuck have they done though? Oh yeah, DK Metcalf. That was a nice addition.
DK Metcalf is a pretty nice addition.
Najee's gone. They add his replacement.
Not worried about Najee.
But they do. They needed. They have the biggest currently. We can't even project Rodgers to him right now. They don't have a quarterback that you believe can win them games.
So then, why was it so crazy when I just said that about the Saints?
Because I think Derek Carr will play. I think they're playing a weird game of cat and mouse.
This is how inflation happens. Inflation has hit the
Yep, that is inflation.
Tier list.
Much better.
Too much money into circulation.
Who is much better? Ooh, I feel like let's see. Lions feel like they've kind of about stayed the same. Detroit,
they're going to be a little better just because Aiden Hutchinson's coming back, but I agree with that. If we were using that same argument for Dak,
sure,
gotta stay consistent there.
Because they haven't done anything. You're like, oh, damn, Detroit, you about to smack everybody around. They're already very good. Maybe they got a little better with his return. Like it. Bengals.
That's
they
right.
are exactly the same right now.
GPS teaching me inflation. Bengals? Yeah, I want to see what happens with Trey Hendrickson.
It seems like he'll be back. I think the latest thing today is things are going in a positive direction. I guess, I mean, yeah. They're about the same. They tried to address some of their defensive issues through the draft. I get that. Shamar Stewart, right? It's their first pick. A little edge rush help, but they're about the same.
He's got to develop into a more of a
their defense just got to get a couple points better, and that's not that hard to do. And if that happens, they're very good again. They're right on the fringe.
Lions losing their coordinators, Paulie. Yeah, I mean, we just don't know what that looks like, too, right?
Yeah.
You know, we're gonna kind of see how much of an impact that they're actually gonna have. But yeah, I don't think that's gonna make them better. But I do think Hutchinson being back there is already just gonna elevate their pass rush significantly.
I think you're right, but you lose two coordinators. We'll say the same. I think that levels it out. Hutchinson's back, but your offense and your defense gone. So let's see what those look like. I think that's a good assessment.
Yeah.
I can be swayed easily.
Ooh, hold on. Packers. Yeah, I'd say that. Petition for Dolphins being worst team. Ooh.
There's a chance. I mean, like, if Tua gets hurt again, they are effed. They are. I mean, well, they got Quinn Ewers now. Maybe he's the savior.
So much fun, Seto. Isn't it so much fun, this timeline that we're in? The Packers, you put them in same. Yeah, I don't disagree. Like, I want to see what happens with Jair Alexander, first and foremost, and kind of what's going on with our secondary. In terms of our edge rushing units, obviously, day 3, we decided to go and get some edge rushers. I feel like we need to see those wide receivers play. But yeah, right now, I think they're around the same. They didn't have that big jump like they did when they brought in McKinney and Jacobs. So I say they're right there.
All right, I got 2 going into much better. Chicago, Denver.
I agree with your defense. I mean, your defense should be baller right now.
Yeah, I mean, free agency for the Broncos. You got Greenlaw, you got Hufanga, and you got Evan Ingram. You improved your tight end group immensely. You addressed 2 of your big needs on defense. Good health pending. And then we made our defense better with the draft. Jahdae Barron, boom. So defense, let's just, on paper right now, best in the AFC West. If Bo Nix improves, if RJ Harvey hits his draft pick and our run game is better, I like it. Same can be said for Chicago. And it's going to be kind of weird. Like, Bo Nix and Caleb Williams both need to show improvement this next season.
They don't have to. I just want to be clear. They don't have to. You guys you both can get worse.
Yeah.
And
but Caleb Williams,
Bo Nix can get better.
Caleb's got to take a bigger leap than Bo Nix. Like, Bo Nix, if he just plays a little bit better, we're going to be happy. Caleb's got to look a lot better in Chicago with Ben Johnson, with them addressing their offensive line. They had was Luther Burden in the draft. They give him another weapon on offense to work with. He's got to look a lot better. I think he's got maybe the most pressure on him as a quarterback heading into year 2. Jaden Daniels, he's got high expectations to live up to, but pressure's on Caleb. But I do think the Bears did a nice job of at least attempting to address their problems. And from again, coaching to personnel to having a solid draft.
I think in terms of that's a lot of pressure on a young quarterback for Caleb Williams. And so if at any point he doesn't want that pressure, he can relax, he doesn't have to do well. He could just throw. If he's just like, you know what, this offensive series is a little bit too much, just throw an interception. There's just the
he and Jordan Love should switch places.
You shut your mouth.
Caleb and Jordan flip-flop.
You shut your mouth.
I saw somebody say we're acting like Caleb was terrible.
No, he wasn't.
That's not what we're saying.
No, not at all.
We're saying
just expectations for the Bears this year are significantly higher, especially with the offseason that they had. They're always offseason champs, but going and get the coach that you want. I don't think that there's any room for Bears fans to even complain about the offseason that they had, right? You look at the draft and you're like, okay, maybe you could have done some things differently there. But everything that they did up to the draft, you could argue was the right thing to do. They went and got the candidate that was literally the most coveted, right? They addressed the trenches. It's kind of put up or shut up time now for the Bears. So, and they're coming off a big win against the Packers.
Yeah. And he was not a lot better than the Bears record. Caleb did some nice things. What you saw were flashes of talent. You saw the elite talent that he has, but and he had a bad coaching situation. But dear God, that man has to get rid of the football. He took so many sacks that were on him, on top of being behind a bad line. There was a lot you're going, fuck. He needs to get better in a handful of areas to be taken seriously as a legit quarterback. So
he's also a rookie, right? And I think it's also there's nuance here, right? Because you mentioned the bad O-line, which 100% is part of it. But he's also a rookie quarterback, and I think at times he played like a rookie quarterback.
He's going to look better this year because of better coaching.
Let's just take the Commanders game, right? That Commanders game was a horrible game before the ending. But Caleb Williams helped lead that team thewn. They got up and they were about to win. And if it wasn't for a Hail Mary, we're talking about, how clutch Caleb Williams is at the end of that game. So again, there's pieces that are there. I mean, hell, he did it against the freaking Packers, the last game of the regular season.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I think it's just the expectations are so significantly high for the Bears because it's just, okay, at what point are we going to be really good, right? At what point is this all going to come together? So...
Yeah, I think the big question for the Bears is are they going to make a move at running back? You're talking about Nick Chubb earlier. I think everybody's favorite rumor is that the Bears are going to sign Nick Chubb. We thought they would address running back in the draft. So, we'll see.
Yes, I'm worried about the receiver core, but I do think that they got slightly better. I think just as a Raku, I really liked him coming out of college, and I think Booker on the line is going to help a lot because you need to protect him. So, yeah. Corey Taylor for the win. Ooh, what do you do with the Colts? Oh, the Colts are interesting. The Colts are in. They lost some guys. They don't know what they're doing at QB yet. I feel like it's
least improved.
I feel like it's a little worse or same because they're just in this weird ass limbo.
They are.
I like that they went and got Warren. They're trying to figure out QB. I don't know, man.
I hope Anthony Richardson, I hope it clicks for him this year because
it has to, man.
If it can, he is going to be so much fun to watch as a quarterback.
Yes.
But it's a mix of very bad play when he's on the field with some very insane plays that nobody else can do. But he is not efficient as a passer. He misses on so many easy targets, and then he can't stay on the field. So he's got 3 things working against him with some very small elite flashes. And it's how do you harness that? Are they even going to go? Is Dan Jones starting with them? I don't know. But yeah, probably a little worse overall. And that has nothing to even do with personnel. It's just
And
they're
they
out
lost
with their
some ascending
quarterback.
players, but yeah, I think
Poor Colts.
Yeah, the Colts are in a tough spot right now. If Anthony Richardson grows leaps and bounds, this is a very different list. But Ravens a little worse / same. Yeah, I mean, I like what they did in the draft, the Ravens. But yeah, I put them at the same right now because I feel like for the Ravens, they're going to be a great regular season team, right? They're getting over the top. I don't know.
Yeah, they're Ravens. Who did they add? They still have Mark Andrews.
Yeah, Starks in the draft.
In the draft. And what, Mike Green in the draft? I'd say they got a little better. I'd say the Ravens got a little better.
Okay.
They got a little better.
Okay.
Chiefs got a little better just based on your Josh Simmons projection. Actually,
I'd put them. Yeah, I think if you're going to argue about the Chiefs, are you adding another tier?
Yeah.
I think if you can argue about the Chiefs, it's the same until Simmons plays. That's where I see them. But Perna got a hundo.
Oh, things are turning up, Perna. There we go. What do we got here? Desmond Shannon. Damn, if my Raiders didn't just become a force, Mahomes better watch the hell out. Yes.
All right, here's a question for you. Who do you think finishes with a higher record this year, the Patriots or the Raiders?
Ooh.
Raiders are in a tougher division.
That is fudge.
I feel like
here's where I'm struggling too.
Yeah, tell me.
Because I think it's easy to argue the Patriots.
Yes.
Because there could be a little more, there could be a bigger difference between the good and bad teams in that division.
I agree.
The AFC West could cannibalize itself just a bit this year if the Chargers, Raiders, and Broncos all actually did improve the way we think they do. There's just going to be some trade-off in terms of win-losses, I think, in that division. So I think the Patriots will have maybe a slightly better record, but I think Raiders, you could argue, improved more than the Patriots.
I like that take. I can go with that take.
Johnny John John!
All right, so I did move the Chiefs down to their own category, still sucking Satan's peen. So that's where the Chiefs are.
Where did you?
They still got the devil's wiener in their mouths, Tom. Until they take that thing out, probably going to be dangerous.
GPS, real football analysis, and Satan's peen.
You think Peter Schrager will ever be like, as long as they're sucking the devil's dick, the Chiefs still got a chance to go to the Super Bowl?
I don't know. I don't know if he'll ever pull that one out.
Come on, Schrags. Tell it like it is.
I see what you're doing, Gold. I see what you're doing.
Ravens suck donkey farts.
Matt, okay, reliable, first of all, I think your ceiling is significantly lower. And also, I don't even know if you're both are wrong. I don't think the Steelers need Rodgers either, because then they're just going to potentially go to the playoffs, maybe win one playoff game, and they're back in the same position. I'm just saying this is what I think is going to happen. I think it makes sense that Rodgers is eventually going to sign with them. But I agree. I mean, if you're a Steelers fan, I think that if you're a Steelers fan, you can admit that your team is going to be better with Aaron Rodgers on your roster, but it's not going to put you over the top. That's going to make a substantial difference. I think that's a fair take, right? That's pretty fair. Wasn't Broncos' biggest needs running back and tight end? How can they be ranked so high? Because Brandon Perna is controlling the tier list, 1. And 2, I do agree. Their defense, especially their secondary, could be nasty this year, which is why you had 2 of their division rivals draft running backs early, because they're just going to run the ball on the Broncos instead of throwing it.
Wasn't Broncos' biggest needs running back and tight end? Yeah, we signed Evan Ingram. We addressed tight end.
Mm-hmm.
We drafted R.J. Harvey, who Sean Payton is in love with. I think they did get those
from the toy factory.
You can question right now how much did they upgrade running back because we don't know, but I think our tight end room got significantly better.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we're much better. And we took a defense that was already pretty good and I think made it complete, very complete. 1 of 5 voice lines. What does that mean?
You say the same thing after you get a hundo every time.
I do.
So that's what the
great
comment was saying.
Great. That
Raiders
is
may be better,
excellent.
but
Thank
overhyped.
you for the $100 American dollars.
I agree with that. I think we're saying the same thing about the Raiders and the Patriots. Like, they're gonna be improved. I just don't think that they're going on a run right now. You know, I think they're gonna need some time, but I think they're both gonna be improved football teams. So I think so.
But Panthers, they feel about the same?
Who?
Panthers,
I go little better. Little
better.
Little better.
Okay.
Little better.
You know what? Actually, I think a good category for the 49ers is addressed weakness. Now, they did this through the draft. I'm not saying it will work, but similar to the Falcons. How many defensive players did the 49ers draft? It's a shit ton.
Okay. I don't know. The 49ers just, they lost some vets, obviously.
Yes.
But Greenlaw, did he have a setback in his recovery?
Dre Greenlaw strained his hamstring or something.
Got it.
It was reported that he tore his hamstring initially, which I don't know how that gets out there. But yeah, he tweaked his hamstring working out or some shit. He'll be fine. Or quad, I can't remember.
49ers for me, I feel like
Michael Williams, Alfred Collins, Nick Martin.
Maybe worse is where I'd lean, but
Upton Stout.
Getting Robert Saleh, I think,
West.
is going to make that defense better. Right. Panthers fans saying that you guys should be much better. I'm comfortable with little better. I think you can make an argument.
Much better? I don't know about that.
I mean, there's a lot of optimism with Carolina. For the first time, it feels like in a hot minute.
Yeah, I know, and I am skeptical. I am very skeptical. I know, I like adding Tet McMillan, okay, but what I said before on this show is Bryce Young played very average after being terrible, and that's what's gotten everybody excited. We haven't seen Bryce Young play elite. We saw him do some things we thought he should have already been doing well based on where he was drafted. He's got to look a lot better from looking improved.
Sure.
If Bryce Young plays out of his mind, then yeah, you can say they're going to be much better, but I would just be careful with the Panthers at this moment.
Kyle, you bring up a good point about the defense, right? Because what was it, a couple years ago that they went all defense in the draft? I just need them to hit on these draft picks, right? There's things that they did in the draft that I really, really like. I think McMillan maybe wasn't the pick, but I think he's going to make that offense significantly better because you finally have a number one wide receiver that you're going to throw the ball to. So again, you can make the argument. I think there's just a lot of unproven talent right now on the Panthers. That would, because they are a pretty damn young team, besides Adam Thielen being 1,000 years old, but they're pretty young. Janine, I feel like a lot of Steelers fans feel the same way. I do.
To say that the Panthers had they set the bar pretty low, that's also fair. That sets you up for a big.
I hope he's good, man. Slide. I hope he is. I do. Again, the Panthers could be a really fun team to watch this year. I'm excited to watch them. I do think that they've been hyped up a ton, just because it's been a bit since to get excited about the Panthers. But yeah,
we'll see.
Right there. I hope
I'm wrong. I want Carolina to be good, and I want Bryce Young to be good. I just don't know about it yet.
Commanders, I go address weakness. I say Commanders address weakness because they went and got Tunsil. They went O-line again with their first pick. That's where Deebo Samuel does not move the needle for me. Overpaying on the D-line does not move the needle for me either. But they address some weaknesses. So they made that O-line better. So I was happy about that. That's where I'd be. It's true, Maryland. It's true.
I think we got to put the Eagles still sucking Satan's peen.
Because you can't put them in address weaknesses, because what weaknesses did they have besides losing a couple of players on their D-line?
Yeah, they're still like they're in the devil category. If they win the Super Bowl again, they are the new Chiefs. They will be Satan's team.
Yeah. They got some hole. Their secondary, I'm curious about F9 for the Commanders, but I think they're going to be fine. Texans.
The Texans, their weakness off. Wait, what did they do? How many offensive linemen did they draft?
O-line. Yeah, that's still. I liked how they went out and got receivers, right?
Yeah, they got receivers.
Love the Higgins pick. Big fan. O-line, and again, I'm going to be very clear, Texans fans. Losing Kenyon Green, you're saying goodbye. Have a nice day. Tunsil, I know that there's lots of penalties and all that great stuff. He still was a good left tackle. So I don't think that they're bad. I need some more reassurances on that O-line for where they're going to be to feel fully comfortable. It
felt like they needed to make a big play on the line. We'll see.
They do have better weapons. I agree.
Yeah, the receiving room better. Offensive line is such a question mark. Could be better, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't realize. Damn, we're running long.
Yeah.
Bills. Same or a little better? I'll say a little better.
You say a little better? Why?
I'm going to say a little better. And I'm going to say something that I never thought I would say. Joey Bosa works out for him. It's a nice improvement.
We'll wait and see.
It's a nice improvement for Buffalo.
You say Bosa?
I said if Joey Bosa works out, it's a nice...
That is the SpongeBob episode where he writes the on the paper? That's the biggest if in the history of ifs. I give them no credit for Bosa until proven otherwise.
Okay.
But they did address the defense. They did start addressing defense, which I do like.
Yeah. They take their corner that they loved, Hairston.
Yep, he's speedy.
Add defensive tackle, TJ Sanders, Landon Jackson. A lot of people love the Landon Jackson pick. Mm-hmm. Then Deion Walker. That's 4.
Maybe address weaknesses. Maybe we split the difference and go.
Let's do that. Addressing weaknesses. It was a lot through the draft, and that's what you kind of want. Let's do that for the Bills.
Yeah.
Jaguars.
That's true, Johnny. Seahawks, I think that they got a little better at least. But I think, as I said, Geno Smith was the quarterback for the Seahawks and understood the limitations of that team. I don't know if Sam Darnold really puts them over the top, but I like that they've got Zabel, and I think that makes them a bit better. I like them addressing defense, so I'm going to say a little better.
Dude, I think maybe the hardest question to answer this offseason is who is a better quarterback, Geno Smith or Sam Darnold, based on last year's production. Yeah. Who is better, Geno or Sam Darnold? We don't know. Anybody who says they Geno know for certain?
On the Seahawks, I feel like, again, he just knew the limitations of that team. But maybe with some protection, he'll be all right. So
Buffalo all the way this time. Fat
Perna doesn't even hide it, so
suck it. That's the thing. I don't hide my bias. You can't say I'm biased when I clearly say I am very fucking biased in favor of the Broncos, the Bills, and the Lions. All other teams can suck a fart compared to those guys. If I say it, you can't throw it in my face.
Got it, Buck. You got it. I said I'm sorry.
Buccaneers. Woo. A little better? Think Tampa got a little better?
I think they got a little better.
It feels like it's their division to run away with at this point.
I agree.
I think Tennessee got a little better.
They got a little better.
With the potential of being a lot better if Cam Ward is good. And he has the best chance of any of these quarterbacks to actually be very good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I agree with them.
Tennessee. Minnesota. Oh, my God.
Titans will already be better if Cam Ward's just an average, like above average quarterback. Yeah. Vikings, I feel like what they did in free agency, I like in going to build the trenches. The biggest question mark for Minnesota is quarterback.
It's JJ. We don't know.
So I feel like that's where they are right now because that's just going to determine how good that offense is going to be.
Ooh, I like long-term for Vikings. Yeah. Feels like they did the long-term things right.
I could agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
I like that. Rams.
I rock with that. Rams, I go a little better.
Yeah, Devontae Adams
I love Devontae Adams there.
That's
Devontae
a little better.
I do. They're going to be competitive. McVay came out, what was that, today or yesterday, saying that he hopes that Stafford plays for another couple of years. A little better for the Chargers. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, like, look, if Omarion Hampton and Trey Harris are very good, then they're a lot better. They're right there with the Broncos and the Bears.
Yeah. A little better.
But it's like you're like, you're the Chargers. You got to prove it to us. I think the Jags are tough to figure out.
Jaguars are very difficult to figure out.
Like if Travis Hunter is the dude, then you say, even if he is, he adds to an area that is already like very respectable, the receiving game, right? Like it wasn't like the Jags bad receivers. Like Brian Thomas, one of the most fun players to watch last year. Oh, it's we don't know about Liam Cohen yet or Gladstone. I kind of like it's a boom or bust pick at Travis Hunter. Mm-hmm. I hope it's a boom.
You have to see how Trevor's going to play. You see if that defense gets better.
Yeah, they feel a little better. They do feel a little better.
You're going to give them a little better?
They feel a little better.
Give them a little better. Get the Jaguars, you know what? You're a fan that you've been through a lot. You get a little better. You get a little better.
A little better. All right.
A little better. They are in win now mode, which I don't know if they're ready to compete to be in win now mode. I think it's what is that defense going to look like? It's can't be much worse than last year. And then Trevor's just got to stay healthy, man. And hopefully that offense can put it together. Like if Hunter is that guy, oh man, the Jaguars could be such a fun team to watch. They could be so much fun. There's a lot of question marks. That's it. So there you go.
I want Lawrence and Hunter to do it.
I do. Perna, what do you got coming out today, broski?
Nothing.
Oh, nice.
We put our Belichick video up yesterday, and we will be moving on to Monday's video.
Very nice. Oh, look at that. 3 days without a video? Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, maybe I get a short out there, but I don't know. I got to do I got to write a bunch of ads and some other bullshit.
Zach's partner's son asked who's Tom's favorite football player ever, like all time or right now? Ooh.
Tom's two favorite football players, Brett Favre and Deshaun Watson.
Nope. Those are... Brett Favre growing up was 100% the answer. I also loved Bubba Franks back in the day.
Antonio Brown, strong second.
Nope.
O.J. Simpson, 4.
Nope. Probably right now on the
Ray
Packers.
Rice.
It was Aaron Jones too, and then he was taken from me.
Aaron Hernandez.
Right now on the Packers, I mean, I do love Kenny Clark. I'm a big Kenny Clark fan. Yeah, I'd probably lead Kenny right this second. So, today, the vlog from the draft, that should be out at some point today. And then Friday night Q&A is going to be like a cajillion hours later tonight. I have to go mow the lawn and go do, like real world things today. So yeah, we're going to rock. We're going to roll. Well, folks, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you back on Monday, I think, maybe, potentially. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna. It's GPS, and you have been navigated.
And you wish, that's the batch get the no.